car, a holy man walked up to me and put a dot on my forehead and tied a bracelet around me and gave me a blessing. So
that's it. That's it.
I instantly felt blessed and welcomed in your country. So thank you.
That says it all. It's going to be a huge success now.
I believe it.
That's how it works. Well, this is such an incredible, aspiring piece of work. I just saw the trailer and I'm completely blown. Absolutely incredible.
Thank you. Thank you.
Tell me, I was just, what was your experience of encountering Tolkien's work? And what does Tolkien mean to you?
So I came to Tolkien by way of the Peter Jackson films. I saw them first when I was in my early 20s. And they were one of the few films that came out when I was an adult that got into my heart the way that films used to when I was a kid. And from there I did the deep dive and read all the books and got super into it. And now they've woven themselves into the fabric of my life. Very rare does a day go by that I don't reference something happening in my life by way of Lord of the Rings, saying I feel like Frodo carrying the ring today, or when weddings or funerals come along, Tolkien quotes always make their way into my toasts or eulogies. So Tolkien is just part of my soul.
I can see the passion, and it shows in your work. And you have your incredible cast here with you.
Oh, they're absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
I'm really excited for you to
incredible.
get to meet them.
I've always believed that casting is one of the most difficult aspects of filmmaking. How was this process for you? How difficult was it for you?
Well, so we knew we had to get this right. The story we're telling is an amazing story. It's Tolkien's untold story of the Second Age. So we're telling the story of the forging of the Rings of Power, the rise of the Dark Lord Sauron, the fall of Numenor, and finally the last alliance of elves and men. And so to be able to bring that really to life, we knew we needed a cast that was really special. And so we had really two criteria for our cast. And one, they had to be amazing performers, but two, they had to have Middle-earth in them. You had to look in their eyes and feel like they could have stepped out of a magical portal and been from Middle-earth transported to our world. And so we auditioned hundreds and hundreds of people for every single role and found 22 needles in 22 haystacks.
That's incredible. How long was the process?
For quite a long time. I mean, it took basically a year to find our entire cast.
That's incredible, absolutely incredible. And is this the first time that you're working with Amazon Studios?
Yes.
What was that experience like?
Amazing. So Amazon decided that they wanted to put on this enormous adaptation of Tolkien, and they had a huge ambition, and our ambition matched their appetite for what they wanted to do. They went out and got the rights to it, and then they basically said it's a wide open field, and so they opened it up to Hollywood to say, like, who has an idea for how they'd like to take this material and tell a story. And my partner and I came in and pitched a way in, and they got excited about it, and since then they have been incredibly supportive. They've given every resource necessary to realize Tolkien's imagination on the grandest scale possible.
Wow, that's incredible.
They're amazing. We've been very, very, very fortunate.
I'm so glad you had a great experience.
I mean, it was a fantastic experience. And I've worked with every studio in town in Hollywood, and Amazon has been amazingly supportive.
I have one last question. How many days did it take you to shoot?
Oh gosh, it was well, so we had COVID that was in the middle of it. So we shot 20 some odd days, and then COVID interrupted us, and we were on a hiatus for about 6 months. And then so I mean, it depends on how you count: first unit days, second unit days, stunt days, VFX days, but something like 300-ish.
Count them all.
Sort of 300-ish. Yeah. And so a gargantuan schedule.
I'd say that's inspiring.
Guys, can you imagine my state as to how badly I'm fangirling right now? Like. J.D. Payne, Hrithik version. J.D. Payne, welcome to India. How has it been for you? I really want to know.
Oh, it's been fantastic. It's been really fantastic. I've dreamed of coming to India my entire life. I've admired this entire country from afar, and had Indian friends since I was a young boy. My first Indian friend was Aviv Bhatia, that I used to play soccer and football with when we were 10 years old, and then I've had Indian friends ever since, and so it's beautiful to finally come to this wonderful, wonderful place.
I'm so glad you feel that way. Now I'm going to dare and ask you this question. You are an epic storyteller. Star Trek, guys, there's nobody who hasn't seen it. It's not possible. So, I mean, this is something that's a familiar ground for you in terms of scale and, storytelling. But was it daunting for you to attempt material that has fan following, which is so widespread, and for them, this material is so sacred. Also, was it any kind of pressure while you were attempting Tolkien's work?
Well, I mean, the biggest pressure was the pressure that Patrick and I put on ourselves, simply because there's such a need for what Middle-earth can bring to our world. There's a real darkness in our world right now. There's a lot of people who are in a lot of pain. Political darkness, economic darkness, social darkness, just a lot of challenges. And Middle-earth speaks to people in their soul. It's one of the reasons why Tolkien's work has been, I mean, next to like the Bible, the Quran, and certain writings of Mao Zedong, Tolkien has been the most selling work of all time. And I think that's because no matter what country people come from, no matter what background they have, when people find Tolkien, it goes past all of those other things and finds them in their heart and in their soul. And so we felt like we needed to capture that special feeling of Tolkien. Because really the Second Age, the story I mentioned a moment ago, Tolkien sketched it out, but he didn't do it in a ton of detail in a lot of parts. So there was a lot of things where we had to very carefully excavate what he had shown us, but then also to continue to connect the dots and fill some of the gaps in where necessary. So we tried to do that in as Tolkienian a way as possible to be able to bring that light and that feeling of Middle-earth. And I could say that one of my best moment so far was we showed some Tolkien superfans about 20 minutes of the show, and we were sort of flies on the wall sitting in the back of the auditorium, and I heard someone ask, well, what did you guys think of it? And one of them said, you know, it just feels like Middle-earth. And I spontaneously broke into tears. And I was like, that's all I wanted to accomplish.
That is amazing.